Hey, everybody. Excuse me. I'm having, sorry, one of those days. Only when I get on the mic. You've joined Wicked Lady Hippy at the bar. We are live. It's my bar. Well, it's actually my husband's bar, but he lets me borrow it. My headset and my sound card. No, no, no. I'm on live, darling. Don't. It's okay. I know, but right now it's okay. He just fixed my sound card and my headset, so he was coming back to make sure. But so far we're still on, and if I have to, I'm just going to throw a small one in. We'll check that next. Yeah, that's my backup dude for like decades. That's my husband, Robert. And apparently, the only thing he allows me to put on the air with him is his back retreating. So I'm so glad to see everybody up here. We've got live chat on. Pop on through. We've made it here in Augusta, Georgia, through the first front. I think they called it Winter Storm Fern. Anyway, I'm from Chicago. 14. We get 14 feet of snow. We went to school. You walked on top of the snow. I'm telling you, we did. It'd be -2. We were at school. Yeah, like the Michelin Man, all these clothes. So I kept moving further south after I went into the army. I went in as the whack. I thought I landed in when there were no more whacks. We were regular army. We had Vietnam Airborne Rangers for drill sergeants, XOs, COs. And my CO, was like, and I had rank. I came in as a PFC. And when you first join the army and you're in boot camp, you're a trainee and you usually have no chevron, no stripes. You haven't earned it. I did. It was a mistake. So we just go with that. You want to see how crazy that went. Check out Private Benjamin. Goldie Hawn has my part. She did a real good job. So you got a little bit of my background. Published author, mother of one, grandmother of two. My grandson is also an Army veteran. Gives some things away. Thank you for the compliments. No, I don't look that old, do I? So I get up here and I just run my mouth for absolutely no absolute good reason. And today I just came back because the last one I put in the can was, I believe, Thursday. And I wasn't sure how the weather was going to do. Here in Georgia, we've had an ice storm way back at 13 or 14. My grandson was only 13. He was here with me. And of course, everything froze. All of the power lines were falling. And at one point, after about 6 or 7 hours of this, and I kept hearing things like boom. So we went outside, and I have dogs, and we didn't want to throw them at the back. Was tried to run them out front so I could see what's going on. And we're out front, and the trees are just exploding. All the live trees, none of the dead trees. It was just the live trees. And we found out later on that when they freeze like that and then they're alive, they just explode. It's just crazy. All of us are running back to our houses and stuff going, whoa, wait, we didn't sign up for that. So we've been through one of these. And so my husband laid in a ton of firewood and got the generator ready, and all the supplies in, all the medicine in that we had to have to get through it. So we really were expecting the way they had put what was going on. We expected to be in trouble. Sorry, I like to have a little music in my background, but apparently there are plagiarism rights to that. Can't just play anybody's music. I don't see why it's music. It's to be played, but you can't do that on the air. Again, don't know why. It certainly isn't freedom of speech. We'll put it that way. I fidget when I get up here. Y'all have to excuse me. I had one of them days. I decided to run and get some things done, and of course, and my goodness, I never can tell left from right here. I'm just slightly messed up here. Uh, Here we go. We're trying to get some of this together. It's not easy being PC. Okay, there we go. Trying to get the lapels up on my scarf right. My poor butterfly. I see on the other side. My poor butterfly. Yeah, I love my new brooches. The Robert gets me them all the time. I'm having fun. I tell you what, I retired. Yeah, my husband and I both retired. And I thought, oh, we're going to be bored, stupid. And then I found out, I mean, we were in the middle of renovations on the home, uh, putting in wood floors, this kind of thing, when I was injured really badly and went through 15 hours of surgery, but I had to wait a month to do that because the day of the surgery, um, the hurricane hit and our entire city froze. literally for 2 weeks. And I was able to finally, after a month of being in pieces, I can't even describe the agony. They do not treat pain. I was told, "Oh, breaking bones don't hurt." And if they grow back together wrong, we can break them again. I laughed straight in their face and said, "I double dare you to do that shit to me." They just kind of looked at me and said, they knew I meant it. Well, fuck you. This is not for kids. Um, let's see. What else? I love watching them repossess the Lamborghinis, Maseratis, uh, dualies pulling tractors full of cars as they go in and collect what they can back of the taxpayers' blood money. Yeah, we soak, sweat, bleed that money out to give it to these people. And mind you, they've been doing this for probably a decade or more, at least, because of all the stuff with the pandemic. The children, it's all for the children. It's all for the children. And that's what they're yelling when they're taking the Lamborghini. This is for the children. I make a payment. We will get our federal funding tomorrow. No, you won't. It took one boy. They're calling him a boy. I call him a man. To run around and look at these daycares that was getting all this money because they had to feed the children because they only got food at school. And when school was down, they had to take it to their house. And they're driving Lamborghinis. And they walk. He went to 20 different places that said daycare, no children. There were several of them in the same buildings. And they're like the malls, the little tiny malls, the mini malls. And they would be registered as daycares. And he would go up and he would knock, and there's 2 or 3 people in there to answer. They ain't gonna open the door. They'll open the door. You don't know, you don't go. We don't have no more children. No, no more room, no more children. So he put it up there. And oh my God, did that work? Of course, Omar is still trying to worm her way back out of that. We've been financing, let's see, the terrorists in Gaza. We've been funding, let's see, oh yeah, the terrorists in Somalia. We've been financing the terrorists in Mexico. Let's see, we were funding, well, let's see, what was the other ones? Well, we've got some Chinese folk trying to come in and destroy our crops and stuff. I kind of call that terrorism. I don't know about y'all. These sanctuary cities, if anybody ain't scared to talk about it, is treason. They're traitors. It's called sedition, and we had a fucking civil war over it. Read something. Google it. Why haven't they come in and closed down these states and said, you've declared war? And get all of them and put them in jail. And every one of these stupid ass protesters that get up in an ICE person's or a cop's face, what is fucking wrong here? I'll tell you what's wrong here. You let them fucking do it. I would, no, I'd slap them bitches so hard Google would take a year to find them. You need to protect yourself. These fucks are getting stupider and stupider, and it's time for somebody to understand this is literally war against the federal government. It is what we call the Civil War when they went against the federal government before in 1864. Somebody get a book, read history. I don't know, but stop this shit. How the absolute fuck all has this gone on for so long for the children? And then I saw them breaking down this poor boy. They had him come in and testify before Congress. Why the fuck for? That's your job. You got one fucking job. One fucking job. You fucks haven't done that. You're up in that motherfucking office for 20 years, 40 years, 50 years for Pelosi and them. They ain't done a goddamn thing. What the hell did they get back in there? Somebody died. All right, family member told me that one. Somebody. And I went on a small rant. Which maybe means because I do this live, they may not put it up there, but somebody had to fucking say it. By the way, Candace Owens, love you, baby. Please chill. Woosa, woosa, woosa. Be careful. I know it seems to me as if you're the only one that is trying to find out what happened to your friend Charlie Kirk. They massacred that boy in front of millions, over the top of the heads of 4,000 kids. And now they've paved over it and it's just disappeared. Seems like no one is talking about this shit. What I want to know, even myself, and I didn't know he did anything except for prove me wrong. I had no idea he was married, kids, none of that. I just saw him as prove me wrong. And to find out all of this after he was assassinated has been something. And I hit my knees. I said, I don't understand this, but it seems like it's shades of JFK. And again, I didn't even know this guy was in politics. I knew he was a Christian young man. And then I loved how he went around and he asked, prove me wrong, and they couldn't do it. And they'd scream and rant and rant, and they didn't have a fucking clue. They couldn't have spelled that. Parents need to be bitch slapped. And all of these wonderful schools that we end up paying tax money to for free, and they already have 500 trillion more. What are they giving our tax monies to Harvard for? Did any of you get to go to Harvard? What, 3 of you out of 40,000? Yeah, right, cool. Did you go for free? No, you fucking didn't. Your parents paid a hell of a lot per semester so you could come out with a worthless degree. And trust me, a bunch of you have. You didn't get a degree, you got indoctrinated. You're indoctrinated. I'm going to rant like all the ones pretend I know I'm a star, so I can get up here and say whatever the fuck I want. There is free speech. And no, it's not for children for a second time. I do it for entertainment purposes only. I think it's social Woodstock. I think we should get our asses up here and say, we're done with this. We've had it. We're not taking it no more. They they tax your money. When you get to return tax, they tax you on the money they already took from you. So that's added to only what you brought home. So that's added because you made it, but you didn't get it. But you're taxed on that. That's not bad enough. That's not good enough for them. No. Then they got a tax. You have a tax on sales, county, state, federal, everything. Medicaid, Medicare, unemployment. Never got a dime back. Ever. The government makes sure it's the biggest Ponzi scheme, but those are that I've ever seen. And then on top of that, they do the insurance backed by the government that if you don't pay these motherfuckers 12,000 to 2,000 some odd dollars a year, which we have done for 50 years without tickets. I've never had a ticket. Did I get any money back? No, I fucking didn't. They're supposed to say, well, if you don't drive more than 50 miles a month, we'll lower it to this, that. No, they fucking don't. Not in Georgia, they don't. They love people. They love us. We pay $140, $50 a month. Add it up. It's a couple $1,000s a year for nothing. Nothing. They don't go, well, you paid this for the last 10 years, so we're going to give you half your money back. And your bill is going to be only this. Something. Come on, Mr. Trump. President Trump, I like you. I think you are so funny. I love what Bill Maher came to dinner. And I love that. My headphones don't seem to be working well. I don't know why today. Hello. Oh, we're going to assume it's working. In any event, yeah, I like that. He signed it. He brought all the insults to Donald Trump. Called him. I call him Donnie. Hey, Donnie. I love you, dude. I've been watching you for a long time, long time, long time. I saw you on Beverly Hills, Prince of Bel Air. Oh, it was you and Marla Maples. I love the First Lady. You talk about grace and style and beauty and class and taste. She has it all. And what they've done is what should have been done to the White House 150 years ago and maintained up to now, and it hasn't been. And so I have a problem with that too. Um, it's really annoying me. I can't really tell whether they're on or not. I'm going to have to assume they are, but yeah, I'm not getting this. So I don't know. Could just be me hearing myself talk. Let me see here. Let's see. Ah, maybe I let him go too soon. We'll find out in a minute. Hey, everybody. Hey, hey. Hello. Hello. Yeah, see, I don't think we're just going to have to wrap up quick. I'd like to have a cigarette when I'm up here at the bar. I don't get to do this very often. Mm. See if I can get my soundboard to work right. Oh, yes, we wear all the hats here. So this is how amateurish it is. I understand that that's maybe not a good word, but that's the way it is. That is just the way it is. Hello, there we are. Oh, that's a different sound entirely. So apparently I don't have to scream. Hopefully you heard most of this. See if I can adjust the sound just a little. There we go. I knew when I couldn't do that. Oh, we've lost you. It's really strange. You can still hear yourself without being wired in, so you still think you're okay, and until you look for something like that. And again, we're still in it. We're still echoing just a tad. So sorry. I seem to have fixed some of this. It wasn't charging. I have three stations, and where he was trying to switch equipment so he could look at it, and that was how we started out. Besides me bitching at the rest of the shit that's going on, although I got to admit, yeah, it's funny watching some of these loose cars. They're telling me my adaptive charge is on. So I'm getting all those live chats open, comments are open. Uh, Ta, mm, I have my whiskey on the rocks. That's called a whiskey fireball. It's a burst of cinnamon. Ooh, mm, one of those days. So I get to relax here at the bar for a bit before I go on with my day. And I see I've been up a bit of time already ranting. I don't really like to watch too much of the stuff going on in the world because it just pisses me off. You'll think that we're trillions of dollars in debt. And the governor of Minnesota has no problem with the fact that the Somali, I don't know, but apparently there's thousands of them there, and daycares that there's nobody in, that nobody could figure that out before this guy got in his car, who was a podcaster like us, and ran around and looked around. Said, oh, I love the learning center on the one that had no end. You just can't make that shit up. It's crazy. And of course, it should make us mad. It really should. This is wrong. But what you can do, not too much because they ain't gonna let us. Getting to my grocery store was even difficult today. Nobody moved here past Friday. The event was to start Friday night. We did get some spitting sleet, kind of. We did freeze what little water there was that came down Friday and Saturday morning. Did freeze. Thank you, Lord. It wasn't enough at that height in accumulation to hopefully take anybody else out. We didn't lose power. We were ready. And I felt for anybody like, my son has a fireplace, but it's electric fireplace. So when the grid goes down, you don't have a fireplace. I have a fireplace. I can, we have camping equipment, of course. We're used to cooking over an open flame. So we old folks, we can do that. And we put in enough things that we don't have a problem. I even have a percolator for coffee. So we don't have to have electricity. We have oil lamps, we have all this stuff, propane tanks to run the ovens that we used to use camping. So, it's easy for us to just set up a table and, the only thing that is running with the generator would be our refrigerator and maybe a TV, usually a TV and a fan if it's summer, since that's where the hurricane did us. But I was all broken and couldn't love that experience. So glad to be back on my feet. You have to forgive me. I'm having one of those hair days where everything is just stuck and looks like it's, yeah. Thank you. See the love. See the love. Let's see. Yeah, we need some love up in here. Need y'all come on up. Say hey. I am. I'm kind of like, I don't know. Joe Rogan loved you, so I had his radio and watch it since it was tragedy what happened. At any event, love these guys. Bill Maher, love you. Hey, babe. Been watching YouTube for a long time. We all look good. We make this age look damn good. I remember my adopted mother at this age, and I was horrified. My generation wanted to live hard and die young. It was just now we're all walking around with grandchildren, and they're grown, and we're like, "What the? Where did the last 20 years go?" And we're not the only ones saying that. We got tons of stuff going on around here, and at the same time, I'm looking at these people that are getting away with what they've done to us, and it just makes my blood boil. It really does. Let's see who else I was going to talk about today. This is why I'm allowed these. I quit smoking about 5 years ago because they had a fit at the hospital. Long story. Another book. I'm a published author. Maybe I should write a couple more books. In any event, I'm too damn busy. Like I started to tell you, I retired. We both did. We got busier than we were when we had two jobs, three kids. you know, I'm like, what do you mean it's 6 o'clock? It's only one. Oh, okay, it's 6 o'clock. Time to eat. Mm. So I know all of you may have seen this. If you're watching the legacy media, throw away the key, block those channels, quit watching them. You're being programmed and you're idiots. I mean, I hate to say it, but I heard my grandson parroting CNN and I was just astonished. I was like, because he was with me almost his whole life. He stayed at grandma's most of the time. Back before this, he stayed at his father's, but he was at my house at least 2 or 3 days a week. And since he was a baby, we took him home to our house. And not that he don't have a mom and dad, they're great. It's just grandma always had the kid. I wasn't working, I had the kid. Sometimes when he was older, didn't matter, we had the kid. Had a house that we got. And I was really proud of him. He went through rots. He didn't want to, grandma insisted. So he would, I thought he would have some, at least day shift run when he went in. But he did rise quick enough and he ended up in Korea. But he had a good time up there too. He's got a lot of stories. He got back from there just ahead of the pandemic, like 3 or 4 days before they shut us down. He came, he scooted in. So he stayed with us because we had turned the upstairs into two apartments with a full bath en suite in the middle. And everybody had big TVs. So we were good. We were, I don't know why everybody was freaking out. Uh, I could go to the store. I could do all this stuff. I don't know why they didn't let kids graduate when they had, in Florida, the beach was full of everybody out there partying. I did that. I went to spring break myself. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that other than the hangover, which I had a lot of. First place I ever had a hurricane. Yes, if you get a chance, ladies, order a hurricane. So you will see me hit my little shot glass here quite a bit because I like my whiskey on the rocks, like I said, so that it gets watery. So I'm not drinking as much as you think. This is the size of the bottle. So I have one of these while I'm up here. I started to say what I kind of like Bill Maher, Joe Rogan, them. If you want to see a certain clip, let me know. If there's something you want to talk about, we could start out with a clip if you have that in mind. I don't actually keep them and put them in here and use that as a talking point because it kind of feels like plagiarism. And I figure everybody's, like 50 million people seen it anyway. So that's why I say, throw it in the comments and, I'll pop it up. It may not be today. It might be, tomorrow when I come back in. I try to run Monday through Friday. 12 to 3 is my window. Today I'm a little late. We kind of rent a cat sanctuary and everybody keeps dropping them off in our cul-de-sac. We used to have forest around us. The hurricane tornadoes came with no forest. So we have cats, lots of cats outside. And we give them our cats leftovers plus fresh food mixed in because it's very expensive. Animal food has tripled in the past 2 years. And I know this because I've been feeding animals for the last couple of years. The day we went into the first pandemic shutdown, the canned cat food case went from 15 to $30 the very day. They doubled everything. I was looking today while I was up there at Walmart, and of course, I thought, well, maybe I'll just go ahead and make a roast. I grabbed some things, and I went to the at the roast. And we only need a small, it's just the two of us. Smallest one I found, it was still 28.50. So we are in deep shit. That's honestly, that's it's. I think it's theft, and I think they should be shut down for that shit. I'm gonna have to start shopping somewhere else. I can't. And again, the cat food and dog food, all that stuff went up. You cannot get these things in bulk except there. And so, you can't. I don't know unless I start a nonprofit organization. They certainly make a lot of money, and maybe then I could, work with one of the bigger uh, cat food companies, and Frisky somebody, and actually get, 100-pound bags. The best we can do is 30 pounds and they go through that in a week. We buy 300 pounds of litter per month. So, because you have to clean those 2, 3 times a day at least. So there's a lot of litter going out, but they're clean. I don't believe in leaving that for 4 or 5 days. When I would want to go stand on somebody else's crap to take a crap. So I'm checking those things, all the time. And they all have their own. They're very picky. I'm hearing this kind of scrubbing in my nose. I hope that's not being translated to our show right now. Anyway, what else was I going to speak about today? I get like this, then I just get whatever crosses my mind, and I'll get off track. I have to start actually writing this out like a real podcaster. I literally get up here, and to me, it's like Woodstock. If you want to talk about something, join in. Throw the live chat up. I would love to talk about somebody who doesn't believe in the paranormal. I would love that. No, I'm not Harry Houdini. I'm not on the other side. I'm the guy that believes in the paranormal. I don't see how you could say it doesn't exist. That was proved in a court of law in New York, by the way, 70s. Might have been the 80s, but it was proven that it was that reincarnation was real and paranormal and all this with the body cams. Eh, sorry, I've been out in this weather here, and in Augusta, this is unusual. It's down to 18 degrees. This is extremely cold, especially for Middle Georgia. And Augusta is only where we're at. We're only a mile from the base. I'm always by a base, and 9 miles from the South Carolina border. So we're basically Georgia, South Carolina, like the Florida Georgia line. It's almost like, well, it is like that. And I love South Carolina, Cherokee, and North Carolina. So I love the Carolinas. And so we knew they were going to get hit hard. We thought we would because I guess I've been through this here, and nobody expected it, and nobody predicted it. We were the only ones that I know that was actually prepared, including my child. uh, my grandson was with me when that hit, like I said. So just to keep a fire going, it sounds easy, and being you know an army veteran, at that time you would think I could handle that, and I did, but it was wild trying to keep a fire going until you got a nice bed of coals. Once you got a nice bed of coals, you could keep it going. But it took forever to light it because it was cold, it was windy, and it had been the very air had a lot of moisture in it during that event and before. So the wood wasn't really dry. And I had a few wood starters, but we had laid in it, and I could get it started, but it was hard to build it up. So we're watching to see when the event starts because I know we're going to put the fire in. We're not going to wait 3 hours. We're going to put the fire on because if you lose power and you don't have the heat on, it takes a long time to get the heat built up. It's the South. Nothing's really insulated. You have to add your own and pat it in and watch that. This morning we had everything dripping. I had actually a stream in the bathtubs, a little hot, making it warm. And still, when I went in to get a bath, I turned the shower knob on for the hot, and it just goes up. I was like, "Oh no," because I know what the sound of frosted pipes do. And then it finally spurted through, so it didn't freeze. Tomorrow is going to be 18 degrees again. So they say for the next week, and I don't know about y'all about this global warming shit, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Raise your hands if you think you see global. I got time. I'm not seeing that. It's 18 below in the south, for God's sake. it's it snowed. I have seen almost as much snow here as I did in Chicago. I left there just prior to 18 for the military. My parents had the same, and I was glad. I wanted to keep going further south. I did up in Germany after Texas, so I went back to Texas. I went to D.C. for a while, Maryland for a while, jumping through civil service and so forth, and was still into San Antonio. Got back there. Then the real family I've adopted reached out and found us, my sister and myself. We were sisters, and the family finally found us. Apparently, they've been looking for like 25 years. We didn't know that. I didn't. My sister had a fence. I had to go meet him. They were in Georgia. Ended up meeting my husband. That was 30 odd years ago. And still, I took him back to Texas. We got married in San Antonio. I always went back to San Antonio. And I usually ran divisions uh, in hospitals and so forth. That was my training. I did both nursing and uh, secretary. Then they got rid of most of that stuff. Thank God. But I was getting out by the '90s, and by the 2010, I'd say they had started teaching the doctors how to or giving them equipment, so they do their own work now. So they didn't need anybody in a dictaphone like me translating. They don't have somebody writing up all the records now. They do it themselves live while they're doing the patient. So they got rid of millions of jobs that way. That was always fun. And of course, I loved how the Clintons froze civil service. So you had to be in civil service as a temporary, meaning they give you 2, 3 months and they throw you out the door. It was horrible. It was horrible. I don't know what's going on now as far as jobs and what people are getting, other than what I'm seeing at these college campuses and universities. And for God's sakes, do not give Harvard any more tax money. Get a grip. I'm just saying. I can't believe we've been through some of the shit we're doing. No wonder we're in fucking debt. Now, I also saw where President Trump, God bless, has gone and gotten quite a few money back from these countries that they've been screwing us over for decades. And he just couldn't do it. They tied him so bad in the first term that he had. He hit the floor running this time. I like Donnie. Hey, Donnie. I'm not being disrespectful. I like everybody and I give him a nickname. Mine's Wicked. Hello. I usually don't tell the rest of it. You probably guessed this. My name is yeah, I got it at boot camp. Then he had my CEO kept saying, "You're from Chicago and you don't have a record." It's like, yeah, I avoided that shit, man. That's small. I was fencing class, karate class. I just had time to be a criminal. Which, unfortunately for me, he did think it was funny, caught himself laughing, and decided to nickname me Wicked. And for some reason, that's followed me for decades. My son set up my email account and set it up as Wicked. So I was like, oh, great. I can run, but I still can't hide from this thing. Let's see what else has been going on. All of it I don't like, except for some of Donnie's stuff. Gulf of America. I laughed harder when I saw Hillary's. You think what makes me laugh? How she was, and Bill's like, when she found out, it was hysterically funny. I wish I'd have been a fly on the wall when she found out the vice president was a vapid woman who had no brain. But she was still a woman. She didn't get it. It's also fun. I called her Giggle Girl, the former vice president. I can't say that without wanting to throw up. Oh, I can't imagine what would have happened had they actually been able to get back in the White House. Oh, dear Lord above. Oh, my God. Yeah, I don't even think our guardian angels could have helped us out with that shit. You just can't make that shit up. She didn't answer shit. If you asked her what her name was, she talked 20 minutes and giggled through the whole thing, and you still never found out what her name was. Huh? So like, I mean, the fucking Easter Bunny had to show the dumbass where to go. I'm sorry, it's kind of rude of me. Poor man. But I love the reporters. Well, we just now finding out about this. This is wrong. Who believed that? Show of hands. Anybody? Yeah, I didn't think so. It was weekend at fucking Bernie's for 4 years. Is anybody trying to impeach him? Thank God this is a bar. Mm. So I get my cigarillos when I'm up here. That's what I was going to say. Cigarettes are like $100 a carton now, but I quit 5, 6 years ago. But he allows me these. It calms me down. And they go out while I'm talking. And so he lets me have 5 of these a week for show. So I look forward to doing this. I'm hoping that y'all will go ahead and talk to me. If you won't, at least hit the like, hit the dislike. I give a shit. Hit something. They like that stuff. I don't know why. Well, this is still free. Well, we can still reach out and tap each other live. We should be on this shit like 24/7, man, like white on rice. Hey, I'm going back on the air. There we go. Uh, Oh, I tell you what now. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I keep looking like I have more. I might have actually opened the second one. To those of you who are my friends and family, what the hell are you waiting for? Yes, this is my second channel. It's new. Get your asses up, put it on, subscribe, and say you like, because I know where you live. So let's keep this together and give me some backing up here. I haven't found you. I created a new channel because my first channel, I took a hiatus of a year, a little over, for the injury I had sustained, injuries. It took a long time to actually get on my feet and for anything, even a little way. You know, surgery was 15 hours and stuff like this. And you have to go back. You got this surgery, and you got. So I've had eye surgery. I've had so many surgeries lately. I'm like, why am I still alive? I'm how what? I'm, I'm how old? I can't be that old. Wait, what? We have kind friends, so they keep saying, "Well, you don't look your age." I keep wanting to bitch slap them. How the hell you know what my age is anyway? You look like a shit for your age. I'm like, what the fuck you mean for my age? You want to give a backhanded compliment, you leave that shit out, okay? You just might say they look nice. Somebody might like me lose their temper. People frown on that. They don't like it if you slap them. What the hell did you just say? Being from Chicago really did not help me. I'm still quite the bitch. I really think in the dictionary under bitch it says see her for directions. So I didn't really have a lot I wanted to get into. As I said, everybody else come see me. There's all kinds of shit going on. But again, I don't believe that anybody on this planet is not hooked to a phone and can't. The other thing is, you can't tell me you don't believe in the paranormal. Everybody's seen it. Anybody's watched a movie knows it's for real. No, they didn't have paranormal while it was going on. And maybe in some movies they did, but they have caught all this on CCTV footage, which can't be fucked with. It's just not, you're not fucking with that. They've caught it on the ring. They've caught it on personal cameras. I mean, it's you can't deny what people are seeing. There's some critters out there that make lions look small, like kitties, and that's something. I would like to know what happened in 2010 at CERN. And the Mandela effect is real. I'm telling you, Jiffy was a thing. We did. Skippy was the peanut butter, and then there was Jiffy, the cheaper one for all us poor folk. That was the only two peanut butters you could get in the 70s. And they say now that Jif is Jif, not Jiffy. Oh, fuck off. It was Jiffy. It was Jiffy. I saw Mandela's funeral in 1989. Suddenly, in the 90s, he's alive. And a bunch of us went, "What the absolute fuck did you just say?" Nobody listens. And yes, the Monopoly guy, he had the little pince nez, the little glasses. There's all kinds. Berenstein Bears, not Berenstein, Berenstein. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's Berenstein, not Berenstein. That's a yeah. Try to say that fast 3 times. I saw one clip where the guy would take it and it said Berenstein, and he would go through a doorway and it would say Berenstein. And I grew up, it was Berenstein, not Berenstein. So just little ones like this. There's just so many of them that even I remember vividly. There is no question of it. But CERN went down in 2012. Then we got Mel's hole. Then CERN made a bigger collider. Why? I understand that they found a particle that they had created a dark hole, a like a black hole. That's what it was, a black hole that they had created. Well, a black hole sucks in everything. I'm thinking they actually moved the Earth somehow, maybe just vibrationally. I don't know. Several people have said so that you might want to pay attention to. Um, so I think all this kind of stuff is going on. We started seeing shadow people in after the 21st century. I'd say 2004, 2005. It started. My son walked into a kitchen we had inherited my husband's mother's home, and we were renovating it, and we were pretending to flip it, and then, because I wasn't staying in that city. What did I tell you about that city? This is fucked up. Fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, fucked up, to borrow from Cat Williams. Fucked up, fucked up. So he was staying with us. They were going through college. He and his wife. They were buying their new home, which is this home. This is their starter home. We ended up taking over the payments and buying it because they wanted a bigger home. Because when their grandchild, or my grandson and his son was 13, they were having a baby daughter. She's 13, gorgeous princess. So all of that stuff is going on. But yeah, there's gotta be something said for these, like I said, shadow people. When he was staying at the house, he was in his 20s. He wasn't 4. He was in his 20s. Held down a job. They had bank accounts and, all this. She was working out of the city and trying to establish that, trying to buy the home. And one day he went into the kitchen for something. This is a big house. It was old. It was 130 years old, I think. Big home. I just, with the 18-foot ceilings and all that. It's just painting and trying to get all that cleaned up. So he came running in and jumped over the couch and landed in my lap, and his entire body was trembling. He was like 23. And I'm like, what in the God's name? His wife was sitting on the couch with us as well. We had a big couch with So I'm like, okay, what's happening? So what's going on? There's something evil in the kitchen. It's just black. It looks like a human, but it's just a shadow. It's blacker than the night, Mom. And his entire body's trembling. So I'm trying to get him off and over to his wife so I can go find out what the fuck is in the kitchen. So I grabbed, the rosary, the holy water, and off I go to the kitchen, which is you can enter through the formal dining room or through a hallway off the bedroom. And I came in through the bedrooms because I had my rosary to hand, but I had to go get some holy water. And nothing. I couldn't find anything anywhere, but I had this feeling. It was just eerie. And I grew up with that. That's another story. So I went ahead and threw a little holy water around, put the holy oil up and blessed the place and did some smudging. I did everything I could. Salt everywhere. And still things got worse. So the kids moved out. They got their house in time. And we didn't know what to do because you couldn't really spot it, say so, because it seemed more generally toward us than it would be towards somebody else who was buying a home. So, because the renovations were all done and we wanted to flip the house. And we were debating on whether saying it is got paranormal because it was very rare after that. Sometimes his father would walk down the hall. He said, "Get your ass up, boy." And that's what he had said to my husband his whole life, basically. And my husband at that time, we were in our late 40s, I believe. So I mean, we weren't young bloods. And it was crazy, and you're up instantly. For me, I was not just up and on the floor. My military training, you were just moving. The minute you heard something, you were up and alert. That's it, and I've always been that way, even before that. So I tried recording. Remember the big camcorders you had in the 90s and all of that. So we tried. I tried everything, and I got EVPs. I got stuff like that. But I never did see that shadow person that my son freaked the fuck out about. But I had been paralyzed before by fear. I have seen the paranormal. I've seen when I was a young girl, probably 13, 14, we had a back door, had a big window in it. And it came up on porch that was covered. This is the north. You got 20 feet of snow a day. So you're in the kitchen, you're doing the dishes, you turn around, you're gonna put some dishes away, and there's this thing standing in your back porch, and it's in the window, and it's as big as the window, and it looks like it's crouching down. And you go to scream, nothing. You realize you're not running, you're not screaming, you aren't even fucking blinking. That's when I say you are paralyzed by fear. And my mother yelled for me, and it seemed to break the whatever it was that paralyzed me. And I was able to scream, and this thing was gone when I did scream and was able to move. So I couldn't explain that to the parents. I was like, "Oh no, I just dropped something." I thought, but I caught it, kind of thing. I didn't want to say that. We all avoided the basement because you ran out of there, and that's where you had your washer and dryer and so forth. And you had two exits. You had the exit that came from upstairs in the house, and then you had the sliding door that was kind of tilted with the wood steps. You could throw it up, and you could go out. It's where they put all the preserves and stuff like that they took care of. And it depended on where you were and when you got that fight or flight as to which one you were going to take. So before you would go to the basement, you would go outside. You would open this door. I don't care if it was snowing. You open that door and came down the wood steps instead of within the house. If you came within the house, you still opened that thing. I went back and got your clothes and went down on the inside. And it depended, like I said, what you were doing is the feeling would grow that you being watched. And you just know it's right behind you. You can feel this breath when you're running. And the one exit I used to take always was the one outside because it was like 20 feet closer than running upstairs and into the house. And it got to where I was the only one that would go down there. So I was the only one doing laundry for like years. Ran a lot, I gotta say. It helped a lot with boot camp. You couldn't walk anywhere, so you had to run. But yeah, paranormal is real. So I'd love to hear anybody else's stories. I got a ton of my own for a long time. I used to storm chase back before we had satellite and all that. I'll never forget me and Heidi storm chase one time, and we hit the hail coming into where the tornado we thought would be, and it took out the windshield. And she screamed and screamed, like, "You don't shut up! I'm going to shoot you." That's why are you screaming? There's no good to scream, you know. Finally found a spot where we were out of the hail and we could pick the glass off of us. Heidi was done with chasing storms. I was from Chicago. There was always tornadoes. My dad would get us in the car and take us around, you know. I actually saw straw stuck through a tree. I saw a chicken stuck through a little bottle on its little head out. They were trying to figure out how to get it out without hurting it. They had to break the bottle. So, yeah, some wild shit went on. Our roof got taken off one time in a tornado. We saw it. My parents threw us in the basement, and there were mattresses, but they had these little windows that went around the whole basement. And of course, curiosity being one of the things when you're a kid, I popped up there and had to look. Hey, look, yeah, that's coming. And all of a sudden, the parents yank us down, you know. And about the time that they do that, all the windows exploded, just exploded. It was the damnedest thing. You felt your ears kept popping. There was so much pressure. Took most of the roof. It didn't take all the. It just really took the tiles and things. We were lucky because it was moving so fast. We saw the house when I was up there before they jerked us down. We saw it hit my friend's house and turn it into matchsticks before my parents threw me down. So we were lucky. You know, we had shattered windows. Almost all the windows were shattered. Almost all of them. So I've been in 3 earthquakes. I don't know how many floods. I was airlifted out of Texas one time because it was flooded. I was on top of the building where I worked at the hospital at the VA and stuff in San Antonio. So that was fun. So we've been through those. We've been through earthquakes. We've been through all of those. So I'd love to talk about all that stuff. I do think some of this shit is biblical. No, I'm not one that runs around thumping my Bible. Yep, Jesus real. Yep, sure as shit. The shroud turn, it's real. For God's sakes, get a grip. Paranormal is real. You can't deny 15,000 countries showing the same shit. You just can't. It's just like the little gray aliens. The 9-year-old in Africa draws the little gray alien in 1963. And in 2022, the guy in Australia draws the same little fucker. You got to go with, and there are thousands of this kind of drawings. So you really got to go, okay. They went to Congress and testified. Uh, yeah, we've run into them with our F-15s, F-16s, and I heard one pilot go, "Look at that thing! Look at that thing!" I love how he's saying, "Look at that thing! You see that thing? Look at that thing!" So yeah, one of them said we had something like 27 different species contact us. I think we were a type of form of prison planet because you couldn't get off of the Earth. You didn't have, excuse the background, guys. I'm having trouble. Um, you just didn't have a way to do it. So you didn't have the processes. So even if they could have found a way to make, say, a ship, they would have had to machine it, all this stuff. So a prison planet, like Occupy. What the hell? And there's some you can't kill them. It's just oh wow. So I think some of this shit's alien. Yeah, I'm one of those. Don't get me started about 9/11. No, like Building 7. Nothing fucking hit Building 7. It wasn't even near the towers as far as that goes. It pancaked too. Why did all three pancake? They didn't. They did it. It looked like a demolition, a controlled demolition. The way they all come down. I watched it live. And I also thought of Nostradamus when I saw that. Edgar Casey's a favorite of mine. I love going back to him. You had a tsunami that wiped out 250,000 people. They never had there. There were nothing. There was nothing. We had nothing out there because there'd never been any. I guess according to our records, but there was nothing out there that would give them warning. 250,000 people died. A quarter of a million people died. You've had earthquakes. You've had fires. You've had floods, and they're a big. They're a biblical size. These aren't small ones. Just like Helene that tore us up, tore the shit out of North Carolina and South Carolina. I mean, we're still recovering here in Augusta, and almost all of the we lost a lot of places too. They went down. You can't run a, a city and lose a month's worth of customers because you can't open your store because you don't have electricity. So how do you get that back when that's how you made the money to start the next month? So we lost businesses. We lost, like Burger Kings and stuff like that. We just lost. They didn't open back up. Some of them were trashed. I mean, some of them were just tore up. And maybe they just decided it wasn't worth it. They didn't make enough money in that area. I don't know. Hated losing Dairy Queen. I like Dairy Queen. I used to work this second job. It was up through college while I was in the Army in San Antonio. Yeah, I got stories. But see, my time is almost up. So come in, talk to me. It's like I said, it's free Woodstock. We need to get our asses out. Say we don't like this shit anymore. I do see that they are doing that. Again, like Bill Maher, he's got guests. Joe Rogan, he has guests. I don't have an on star list, but I have no problem with doing. You know, you can guest in if you want to. We can set that up. If you're in the Augusta area, let me know. Throw it in the stream, and I'll get in touch with you instantly and say, "Hey, we can talk. We can virtual talk. You can come by the bar. I don't care. The bar's in my dining room and living room. We just knocked out everything and made it into one big place. So is I call it the bar slash living room. Let's go look at this huge china cabinet. This bar is big, and we didn't realize it would be. It's got the big mirror, and it's all on the other side. So I'm going to have to change stuff around, but I've just gotten where I can walk. So it's been difficult for a little over a year, especially for her poor husband. I don't know about you other men, but my husband does not clean. He just doesn't. So I'm still after a year trying to clean. You wouldn't believe what the corners look like in my house. You would. I've had to get on step stools and clean the dirt and dust just off the top of cabinets, refrigerators. Oh my god! Nor did I realize how much would accumulate in a year. I give him credit; he kept up with the animals per se, and he did do fairly well on some things. He did do dishes every few days, so if I wanted to change my bedding, I had to kind of do that myself and hop around. Finally, and then he would wash it, throw it at me, say, "Fold this," and same with clothes. I had to wear just stayed pajamas because he was going to throw them at me anyway. Say, "Here you go, they're clean." It's a dude thing, I guess. I don't know. God help him, he went through stage 4 surgery, well, stage 4 cancer, and he beat it. And the hospice nurse that was here the last time she came, she said, "I need to remind you of something," to my husband. "You lived through stage 4 because of your wife. She made sure you were in an environment that was clean every day. And she was there every day. Your entire house was spotless. You were spotless. She took care of your medicines. She made sure you ate. That's the reason you beat it. Most guys don't beat it because they're living in filth. Nobody helps them. Their wives think it's okay. Your wife didn't do that. Your wife was in there shampooing carpets and cleaning bedding every day." And he looked kind of funny. And it's like, okay, I never got that. Thank you. But it's again, he had like 5 sisters growing up. So I'm in there. It's just not one of those that gets up and says, "Okay, I'm going to clean the house today." This is it's just not a thing. They don't know. I would have to fuss. I cleaned my toilet myself. I was mopping in a wheelchair. So yeah, it was that kind of thing. But it was all right. Managed to do it. I enjoyed that for a second because I don't have it a little bit longer. Cheers. I love that stuff. This is a mimosa. It's only small chain. It's a bar. Mm. Can't let that music bleed in because if it's recognizable, then I'm in trouble. And apparently, with my mic on, I'm picking her up more, and I don't know where I set my remote. So I'm gonna have to talk over that and hope it's okay. That you really can't hear it. Please, if you see me, like something, just hit. I'd love it if you would subscribe. And I'm going to try to post this on Facebook and see if any of my guys will not make me hunt them down, which might be interesting. I could film that shit live. But like I said, a lot of us just don't drop film unless we're asked to. People like Bill Maher and say, well, a lot of them, they've got somebody in the background who's running the show with much better equipment probably than I am. But I don't really count that because, hey, we are on the air live for free and can talk to anybody in the world that wants to talk. So come and see me, drop by the bar, share a laugh, talk about a ghost story. Tell me how you really hate the fact that you still get all these taxes and the terrorists are buying guns with your money and driving Lamborghinis. And I don't know how long, I don't know why the Massachusetts people didn't say, what the fuck? At some point, why didn't they go, uh, uh, how is this daycare making money? They know they just, it's for the children. It's for the children. They the children there. They ain't got no children there. No children. It's funny as shit I've ever seen. Although I gotta admit, the other thing that threw me before I'm off the air was President Trump actually kidnapping the president of Venezuela along with the wife and bringing him here. I was like, tell me what the hell? That's a wild one there. I enjoyed watching them blow those boats up. Idiots are coming out in a speedboat shooting at one of our ships. What did they think they were going to do? They was that it, and the ship went boom. I'm sorry, but I do. I'm horrified actually at the loss of life. But it's the same thing as like, what are you doing? It's not bumper cars. It's like death, dude. Fentanyl, believe it or not, was given to me during my accident. That's how in much pain I was. The morphine didn't work. Um, I think they got tired of me screaming. Used to call cadence when I was in the military. I'd be heard all the way down the street. So they gave me fentanyl, and I have to admit that shit should be used for things like that, for trauma and stuff. But it shouldn't be used as a recreational drug because apparently it's killing people unless they buy Narcan. It's just, it's almost as if they said, okay, we're going to get this done. And they got the fentanyl in, and then somebody decided to make Narcan. That kind of makes them live. It's this, the world has gone to shit. You got more volcanoes, you got more earthquakes, you got more storms. Shit's going on in places it's never gone on before. We've just had a storm that we haven't had in 150 years plus, at least in recorded history. I could go on, but I'm almost out of time. So, guys, like I said, if you see me, throw a comment in. Let me know you're out there. Say, what the fuck? That can't take long. You can do the WTF thing. I get it. Throw hands. I'll see if I can't share on this one today, though. So, God bless everybody. We all made it through. We didn't get the ice storm. Power didn't go out, but we still have a whole week left of temperatures that will be below freezing. So, take care with your pipes. Make sure you burn all that stuff. And God bless everybody. Um, I tell you, uh, listen to what they tell you and do what they tell you because it will save lives. It will save property. It will save money. And it's not hard to do. When you go to the store to get supplies, you don't have to buy the store. You just need a week's worth of supplies, a loaf of bread, a gallon of milk. I went today and shelves were bare. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm from Chicago and I wouldn't drive in that kind of shit either. But that doesn't mean I need to go in and buy everything in the store. So, think of somebody that's got kids that might need to get that going about. So God bless everybody. Throw something in, please. Don't make money doing this, but I'm not averse to making money doing this. I have to investigate that when I have 10 seconds of time. In the meantime, may God take a liking to us all. Amen. Well, it doesn't want to let me go today, does it?